Hey, what's up, rock stars? It's Rox. Thank God it is Friday. I am here today with a review for How to Get Away with Murder Season 5, Episode 14. Looks like we are at the end of the run, you guys. So next week is the finale. But this week, let's get to it, shall we? All right, you guys. So the show opens with Analise telling Steen about what the governor told her. Okay, which was that Emmitt was the person that set up the kill for Real Nice Nate's daddy. Steen is looking at her like, "You sure you want to believe the governor? You know, she played you before." And Analise was like, "Yeah, that's why I'm asking you this now." Steen says, "Well, Emmitt does not strike me as the type that goes around ordering hits." And Analise was like, "Well, you know what? My judgment is off. I mean, hell, he was at my Christmas party the other day, and hell, I almost kissed him. I don't even like him like that, you know, so I need your help on this one." Steen says, "Well, girl, I mean, it's obvious he loves you to death. And, you know, why don't you use that and try to get it out of him?" And Annalise says, "Play the hoe?" I was like, "You done played it before, ain't you, Annalise?" Steen says, "Just use what you got to get what you want." So Annalise takes Steen's advice and she gets all sexified up, and then she goes and saunters into Emmitt's office, and she wants to address what happened at the Christmas party. You know, Emmitt was all like, "You know what, I think we just need to try to keep it professional." And she says, "You know, but what if I don't want to?" And he says, "Yeah, I don't really think that we need to go any further with this one." And she says, "Oh, I see. You're always going to be the firm's little good boy." And she walks out on him. Now, Annalise goes and tells Real Nice Nate that the governor told her that Emmitt was the person that set up the kill and not her. And Real Nice Nate is a little concerned. You know what? That could be true. All right. Real Nice Nate lets her know that he had gotten some letters from his father. And in one of the letters, it explained how some real slick talking male lawyer came and spoke to him about trying to drop Annalise and pick him up. Okay, but he didn't say who the person was, but a slick male talking lawyer, a slick talking male lawyer. Who else would be that other than Emmitt? So now, you know, they got their good eye on old Mr. Emmitt, the boss. Okay, but they still need to get proof of who this person was that Real Nice Nate Daddy was talking to. So Real Nice Nate looks at the log for the visitors for the jail that, you know, that day or that sometime around that time that his father wrote that letter. And there's a log, but it doesn't have the person's name. So Real Nice Nate needs more from his connect. All right. His connect was like, "I ain't got shit else to give you." And Real Nice Nate was like, "No, we need it. You need to get the security, you know, the security footage, and we'll pay anything." All right. Oh boy, I ain't really trying to work with Real Nice Nate, but you gonna pay anything? Okay, well, you gonna pay. So Real Nice Nate calls Annalise and lets her know how much it is. It must be a whole lot. She was like, "That damn much? Okay, I know it better be worth it." And you know, Real Nice Nate, he growled at her. "You're the one that's getting that blood money." But we can't discuss it any further because we see Gorgeous Gabe walking in the door. Okay, so she got to hang up. "Okay, may I help you? Well, why are you here? It's break time. Students don't have to come into the firm during the break. You know that." Oh, Gorgeous Gabe got some things he want to run by her. And she was like, "I have helped you. I've done what I needed to do for you. You did what you needed to do for me. We even. Like, I ain't got to be messing with you no more." He's telling her how his mom is coming to visit. And there's a little problem. The mom does not know that he transferred to Middleton. He actually, as far as mama concerned, he's still in Virginia. And Annalise was like, "And this affects me how?" Like, well, what do I have to do with this? And he was like, "I came to you because I'm confused. I don't know what to do." I be feeling so sorry for Gorgeous Gabe. I know people still don't really see it for him, but I just be like, this poor boy just out there in the world by himself. He just trying to find out about his damn daddy, and y'all keep on just giving him the runaround. At least that might have been your damn son, child. You need to help this poor boy. And Elise was like, "I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you." And he says, "Fine, well, I'll just tell her the truth." And she says, "And if you do that, she's going to get back on the pills. Do you want that?" All right, well, what do you want the boy to do, Annalise? Help the poor child out. Annalise's whole thing is like, welcome to being an adult. It's called making decisions, okay? Living with the decisions that you made, even if it might affect other people negatively. All right, so, oh well. All right, and he's like, "Thanks for nothing," and he leaves. But Annalise goes and talks to Michaela. "I need you to get over there, use your little feminine wiles, and stop Gorgeous Gabe, from having his mama come down here to visit. Next thing we see, Michaela showing up at his door. Okay, she's not studying with the kids today. She decided to come over there and study with him. Okay, can we do this? Hey, sure, why not? He lets her in. So, they're inside, they're studying, and they start talking about all the shit that's going on and, how he's able to stay focused. He says, well, you know what? I just compartmentalize, all right, and put little shit in little sections and deal with them at that time. But whatever. I know why you're here, because Analise sent you. All right. She's trying to get you to stop me from letting my mother come down here to visit. And she was, Michaela, she's so obvious, even though she tries to deny it, but Gorgeous Gabe already got her number. You guys are such bad liars. All right. Well, everybody lies around here. Some are better than others, Gorgeous Gabe. But he got one better for her. He done lying. He want to stay at Middleton. And she was just like, why? Please don't say it's because of me. And he was like, I was not even going to say that. But I think it's cute that you think I like you so much. Child, I said, child, if that baby face ain't cracking on the ground, even though she might be some of the reason why he's staying, he's never going to give her that pleasure. All right. Hey, you want something to eat? I'll go fix her something. That damn Michaela was sitting there looking like, oh, okay. Now let's jump back over to the kids, all right? Bonnie comes over to the house and she is trying to help them get that laptop back. They know that they need to get that laptop away from the FBI. I know that Oliver said that he's got all of these firewalls and, different things where they can't get through, yet and still this is the FBI. Give them long enough, they'll probably be able to try to crack it, all right? So Bonnie was like, what we gonna do? They talking about the Fourth Amendment and, what we gonna draw up here and there and write up this and say that. Okay, hey, where is Laurel? They tell her that Laurel is out. The baby had a doctor's appointment. But you guys know Laurel and her fucking eyebrows always up to no damn good. Alright, she ain't at no damn doctor's appointment. When they show her, she is down there talking to the FBI blondie. I was just like, I know you not fixing to, she is just so good at fucking up shit. But no, actually this time she's there to talk to FBI blondie about this number that keeps calling her. She wants to find out who it is. She's concerned that it might be her mother. FBI blondie says, well, I'll look for that for you. But maybe, you need to consider telling me what I need to know about your girl. We talking about Analise here. And if you are especially knowledgeable about her, we can give you immunity just like we were going to give her. Laurel is looking at her. She's a little shocked by what she's telling her. And FBI blondie says, well, we'll give you a little time to think about it. Okay, you ain't got to tell me now. So Laurel goes home and she asks Finance Frank, hey, was Analise going to take immunity? He was like, what are we talking about? Okay, Steen got the FBI blondie fired from the case. Or at least, she's not fired from the FBI, obviously, but she's not on the case anymore. So we ain't even got to worry about her. Analise wasn't taking no immunity, so don't even worry your pretty little self about it. You and your stress is going to rub off on the baby, Christopher. I was like, ain't nobody think that damn baby ain't going to get stressed. He is a fucking years old. 1 year old. And they act like this boy is listening and taking notes. And it gets on my damn nerves so bad. Hey, while we talking, you need to go on and try to forgive Bonnie. All right. Laurel and her eyebrows, I can't even be bothered with Bonnie right now. He says she feels really bad about what's going on. Forgiving her might be just the thing that keeps her alive. That she's at that point. Well, Laurel, she can't worry about that because, like I said, she's concerned about her mother who might be calling her. And of course, she needs to find out who this is calling because she has to protect Christopher. She wants Finance Frank to look into this call, and Finance Frank says that he'll make some phone calls, see what he can find. Laurel goes home, and when she gets there, she sees that Bonnie is there with the kids. When Bonnie sees her, she's just sort of like struck, like, oh my God, Laurel and her eyebrows. She's so mad at me for what I did to my baby. Did to her baby, So Bonnie is kind of like a deer in the headlights when she sees Laurel. Laurel sees that they're working on trying to get Oliver's computer back so she doesn't interrupt them, and she walks off to her room. So she is considering this whole immunity thing. I don't know what the purpose of this blanket of her baby, that has either Bonnie's blood, Real Nice Nate's blood, or Miller's blood. It's most likely probably Miller's blood. But anyway, I don't know why she's holding on to it like this. I mean, you know that blanket is going to come back to haunt y'all in some sort of way. But I guess she's about to go and talk to FBI Blondie. You know, she kisses Christopher and says that, you know, the kids are going to look after him while she's away. And right while she's heading out, she goes out the room and Bonnie catches her in the hallway. All right. And Bonnie tells her, listen, I just feel so bad. You know, I know you know about my upbringing. You know, when I was a child, nobody protected me. And I just feel so horrible that I didn't protect your son. You know, I'll never be able to forgive myself. And then that's when Laurel in her eyebrows has a little bit of a change of heart. And she says, well, what if I forgive you? And Bonnie was like, you ain't got to do that. You ain't got to do that. I know what I did was wrong, you know, and I'm so sorry. And I was just like, oh, poor Bonnie. The day that you got to kowtow to Laurel, honey, you really have hit rock bottom. But when Bonnie apologizes to Laurel, I guess now she's starting to feel a little guilty about her considering this immunity. Now let's jump over to Emmitt, the boss. Okay, he's at the firm. He calls Steen in, and she's like, "Hey, boss. Okay, what can I do you for?" And he says, "You know what? Sit down. You know, the other day I found out from the IT that you got a really strange email that said that you were the Jane Doe. Okay, is that you?" And Steen says, "Nope, that's definitely not me." Okay, he says, well, why didn't you say anything? And she says, well, because I was trying to avoid something just like this now. Okay, somebody is definitely trying to frame me and make me look like I'm the Jane Doe. But I'm definitely not that stupid. No, I would not put myself or this firm in danger like that. And Emmitt says, well, you know what? I know you're not that stupid. Okay, that's why I called you in here. All right, because I'm going to be leaving. And I know you want my job, don't you? Yes, Steen definitely wants a job. He says, okay, well, you are due for a promotion. You did a whole lot around here, you know, saved the money, the firm some money, and did this, that, and the other. So I'm going to talk to the board. Okay, when I get on up out of here, and I'm gonna let them know that you should be the next person in line for this job. Oh, well, thank you. When she's walking out, she says, now, where are you going? You going to a competing firm? And he says, no, nothing like that. And she says, well, where are you going? All right. Then we see her go and run off and tell Analise, girl, he running for DA. I was cracking up. And Analise was like, DA? My dog's hair is floating around in the room, in the car. I took her to the groomer yesterday and there's some hair in here. Analise was like, this is insane, him running. And Steen was like, girl, everything is insane around here these days, okay? No wonder you drink. All right, she started to take up some of Annalise's habits. But jumping back over to the kids, now we got to get this laptop back, okay? And Oliver and Connor, they're at the little hearing with somebody, a representative from the FBI. Long story short, the judge says there's no legitimate reason why they need to get their computer back from the FBI. Okay, the FBI is able to hold on to this computer and get whatever they need out of it as long as they need to. Okay, so nope, you're not getting the laptop back. So that's a womp for Oliver and his laptop. Now, Fine Ass Frank, you know, he went and did some research on this number and he found out, he found out who the number was. He still don't know who the number belongs to. All right, Laurel calls it and it is in French, but it says that the number is disconnected. So now she's just like, well, maybe I need to call my brother, you know, and find out what exactly is going on. And Fine Ass Frank says, no, you don't need to do anything. All right. Let's just calm all this down. All right. I know you and I aren't going to get back together, but Christopher, that's my guy and I want to protect him. And there ain't no sense in riling up your brother and all this shit going on with your mama. Let's just drop the whole thing. Now, jumping back over to Real Nice Nate. He's finally got something from the guy, okay? It's not necessarily the security footage that they hoped for, at least video, but it is a compressed file that just shows a still. And we can see his father from the front, but his father is talking to a man and we can only see the man's back. So he sends that file on to Analise. He's talking to her on the phone and, you know, I guess they're both assuming that is, you know, Emmitt the boss. All right. And speaking of Emmitt the boss, he walks in while Analise is on the phone with Real Nice Nate. So you know what? Get that to me or you're fired. All right. And she hangs up the phone. Emmitt tells her, you know what? I took into consideration what you said. Yeah, I was, you know, the firm's little good boy. So, I'm just gonna step out on a limb here. All right, you want to go out for dinner? And Analise was like, how about tonight? I said, girl, slow your roll. Okay. She was like, we gonna get to this today. Sure, tonight is fine. So she get all gussied up and her sexy again, her red lips, goes in there to talk to Steen. Steen was like, oh, you got your sexy lips on. Like, what you about to do? And she says, girl, I got a date with Emmitt, the boss. And Steen was like, no, you can't go. Because now Steen has also found out that Emmitt did make a call. And she feels like he is guilty. All right, he did get Real Nice Nate's daddy's killed. So, yeah, it's not safe for you to go. But Analise was just like, oh, no, I'm going. Because I'm going to look him in his dead in his eye. And I'm going to make sure he don't lie to me. She going to make his lying ass sweat. So, they get to dinner, and it's the cutest little thing because Emmitt is a little bit nervous. You can tell that he really likes Analise, or he's putting on a good show if he is lying. But, I just kind of feel like, oh, Emmitt did like Analise. So, she's trying to put him at ease. She's not his employee. She's his colleague. So, you can treat me as such. So, while they're sitting there talking, though, Analise finally lets it slip that she knows that he's running for DA. How long you been planning this? And he was like, not that long. As a matter of fact, you inspired me from what you said to me. Okay, and I realized that it was true. Should I not do this? She was just like, listen, I don't even believe you. And he was just like, well, why not? Like, why don't you ever trust anything that, that I say? And she was just like, it's like, you sitting here, you all cagey, and you just don't even know what you want to do. And he says, well, look at how you looking at me all crazy, like you got my nerves bad. She was just like, you know what? I know your type. You a people pleaser. And you doing all of this for something. Are you covering up something? I'm sure that you got a colorful past. And he says, yes, we all have a colorful past, all right? We've all been there, except for you, Analise. You're perfect. You don't have any flaws or anything. I said, wait a minute, Analise. Now, why are you fussing at the boy? I thought you was trying to, I guess she was trying to pin him up against the wall, but I was just like, girl, you're getting more flies with honey than vinegar. Shit. He was just like, you are making an enemy out of me and you're pushing me away, and it's obvious that I care about you. Like, well, why are you even doing this? I don't understand you, Analise. Oh, well, I ain't for you to understand. All right. And she get up and she walk out. I said, well, did you get the information that you needed? I thought you was gonna look him in his eye. Shit, you fussed at him the whole damn time. So Analise taking on back home, baby, she need a drink. I said, girl, this day been long for you, ain't it? We see Real Nice Nate. He goes to Bonnie's and he tells her to sit down. All right, there's been a change here. Me and Analise, we don't think that, the governor is the person that killed my daddy anymore. Now we think it's Emmitt, the boss. Bonnie was like, why are you telling me this? It's obvious Analise didn't want you to tell me. And he says, well, because I need your help. All right. Now they done got this damn still. remember, but they need the security footage. So she gonna have to work her magic with the warden and try to get this the security footage from him. So next thing we see Bonnie talking to the warden. All right, and the warden already got an attitude with her, like, you know what, I already know that Real Nice Nate didn't put you up to it. You know, he's still sniffing around here, but my guys all did everything legally. Ain't no shit illegal around here, and I don't appreciate you even being here. Bonnie was like, look, I ain't even got to tell you this, but you know, the DA's office is looking into your office for impropriety and corruption. And he was just like, bullshit. All right, so then that's when she lets him hear the recording that she has of Miller calling him from the phone booth, thanking him for helping him. So how you want to handle getting this footage to me? Now let's jump back over to Michaela. Okay, she's impressed with Gabe and his cooking skills. They're sitting there, and I guess they're getting closer, and, Gabe comes clean. He tells her that he's not leaving because he wants to know more about his dad. And even though nobody wants to tell him shit, he knows that somebody around there knows more. He doesn't believe that Wes is the person that killed him. He's determined to find out the real story. Michaela says, what more do you need to know than your father was a horrible person? So then Michaela tries to open up to him, and on the rare another occasion, she actually tells him about her parents, her birth parents. Her father shot her mother in front of her, and because of that and the turn of events that her life went through, she don't even feel like she needs to know any of them. She don't feel like she has to know anything, because it is all about her life today, what she's doing today, and fuck all that shit that went on with her mama and her daddy. Gorgeous Gabe was like, wow, Analise did good sending you over here. You made up that whole story just so you can get me to open up. And she was all upset when I open up to you, and this is how whatever. You tell your mother whatever you want. She grabs her stuff and she walks out. She is hurt. She's storming down the stairs, and he comes rushing out after. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. I believe you. I believe whatever you just told me. And while they're on the stairs, Asher's looks up. He's walking up and he sees them and he says, is everything okay? Well, everything's not okay. All right. Michaela rushes past him and she goes on, I'm assuming, back to the house. And Gorgeous Gabe goes back to his room. Back at the house, Connor and Oliver are talking about, this case and this FBI having Oliver's computer and trying to figure out how they can get to it. And Oliver has decided to take things into his own hands. Well, he gonna hack into the judge's credit card. And Connor was like, yeah, this ain't the way to go. And Oliver says, you know what? Desperate measures is taken when, you desperate. So he goes and he looks into her records and he finds something. All right. Next thing we see, he's back in the court with the FBI representative, and he's got more information. Long story short, he looked into her credit cards, even though she don't know if she was hacked. He tells her that he had a friend that worked at this restaurant, but supposedly she was at dinner at this wine bar on Christmas Day, and she signed the warrant for his laptop, and now we're wondering if she was under the influence of alcohol, okay, and was that even legal for her to sign at that time? All right. And the judge was just like, well, touche. All right, I got to admire, game recognized game. I mean, if you done did your job, you done did your job, even if it does have something to do with me. Okay, so yeah, because maybe I shouldn't have signed that warrant that day, we're going to go on and give you your laptop back. So score 1 for the kids. It's a small victory, but child, these days, that's all we can be appreciative for, right? Okay, so they go back home and the guys are ready to celebrate. Asher sees Michaela. She's looking very upset in the other room. He remembers what happened with her. And Gorgeous Gabe on the stairs, he goes over there and he's asking her, is she okay? And she says, just talking to Gorgeous Gabe has made her feel like she got to look for her whole sorry-ass family, and she ain't never even thought about it before, but now it just seems like that's what she has to do. Otherwise, she doesn't feel whole. Well, Asher says, well, you are whole. I said, no, you guys are not whole at all, Asher. Why are you lying to this girl? All right. But Asher tells her how he did reach out to his family, his mother. I guess he hadn't spoken to his mother since his dad, killed himself, or his dad was killed or whatever. I don't even remember exactly what happened with his daddy. What happened with his daddy? Was daddy killed himself, or did they kill him? Child, so many people done died. But anyway, while they in there talking, Oliver and Connor and them tell them, you guys come here. And so they go into the other room, and we see Laurel and Oliver and Connor looking at Oliver's laptop, and Oliver explains to them how he has this mechanism in his computer that it takes the picture of the person that is looking at his screen. And so we see a picture of FBI Blondie. Well, that wouldn't be all that not normal, considering she's the one that took the laptop. But Laurel says, look at the background. All right. And then when we zoom in, child, we see her chart back there where she got every damn body who's ever got killed or had anything to do with Analise back there on that chart. They were like, oh my gosh, she knows everything. I mean, everything. I said, oh yeah, they definitely gonna have to kill FBI Blondie, honey. Her days is numbered. So now they're all panicking. So they call Analise and they're telling her what happened, and Analise is telling them to calm down. All right. If she had anything where we could actually be in trouble, then we would all have been in jail by now, and we not. So don't worry about it. Well, now, while she's talking to them on the phone, there's a knock at the door. She goes to the door, and Emmitt, the boss, come busting in like, you know what, Analise? I said, he's mad. I ain't killed no damn body. So Analise has to get off the phone with the kids because now she got to deal with the boss, Emmitt. He says, yeah, you know what? I had a bug planted into the office, and I heard you and Steen talking about, how I set his daddy up. I can't believe you believe what the governor told you. Now, while she dealing with Emmitt the boss, the kids are all trying to figure out like what they gonna do. Do they need to run? You know, they are really afraid that the FBI Blondie is on to them. And speaking of the FBI Blondie, she goes to Gorgeous Gabe's house. Okay, he answers the door and he's just like, "What is this?" And she was just like, you know what? I'm gonna throw you a bone. Okay, I can tell you who killed your daddy, but I need a return favor. We jump back over to Analise and she dealing with Emmitt the boss. You know, she was like, "You had Real Nice Nate's daddies killed because, you know, I quit. And that humiliated you." And he was like, "That is still no motive to kill some damn body." And I was like, "Thank you, Emmitt. I mean, we really believing on ourselves a little too much if I feel like I got to go kill him, you know, your man's daddy just because you quit." No. I've always thought that that was a very loose reason, and people have been talking about that over the, every week in my comments, people will say something about Emmitt, and I was like, that's not enough. That's not enough. She said, "You met with Nate Sr. Are you going to lie about that?" He was like, "You know what, Analise, let me tell you something. I was happy to be out with you tonight. Okay, when you agreed to go to dinner with me, I was excited. Okay, I felt alive because I knew I was going to be out with a beautiful woman who was brilliant, smart, okay, somebody who makes me think. It was all a game. I mean, you immediately don't believe anything that I tell you." Analise is trying to fuss at him. He's like, "Well, what is wrong with you? Who broke you? Was it your husband?" And she looks at him like, "Oh." I said, "Oh, girl, you just done got red in 2 seconds. Jumping back over to the kids. Okay, while they're contemplating what they're going to do about FBI Blondie, there's a knock at the door. When they go answer the door, they're like, "It's a package for Laurel." Oh, okay. Laurel takes the package. And, you know, it's all very dramatic when we're trying to open up the package and figure out what the hell it is. You know, she cuts the box open and she reaches into a bag. All right. And then when she pulls it out, I was like, what the fuck? Is this somebody's scalp? Shit. I mean, I'm sure. I guess it was a wig, but, you know, it was like red and it was all ratty and oily and messy looking. And, you know, she pulls it out and everybody is sort of like, what is that? And she was like, "It's my mother." And I was like, "Is this your mama's scalp? Is this your mama's wig? Did this come from your mama? Did the person that got your mama send you the wig? Like, what is we talking about here?" And then jumping back to Analise, she's still fussing with Emmitt. Analise was like, "You know what? Why are you so scared? I mean, every time I'm around you, you're nervous and scared. I could smell it on you when I first got around you. That's why I never respected you." He says, "Oh, Analise, you're just so strong, aren't you? You just can do anything." And she says, "You know what? You can sit over there with your white boy privilege and get all the things that you want, but you know what? It's not your world anymore. It's my world." I said, "Analise, girl, you was really going all the way hard on old boy." While she doing all this fussing, we see Real Nice Nate, Fine Ass Frank, and Bonnie. She finally got the footage that they need. They're sitting there and they're watching Real Nice Nate's daddy talking to this unknown person from behind. Okay, and it's taking a long time for him to finally, you know, turn around. But eventually he does. He gets up from the table, and when he turns around and looks towards the camera, at first I was like, "Oh my God, is that Connor?" Okay, because he had like a full beard. And Bonnie was like, "Who is that?" And Real Nice Nate was like, "I ain't never seen him before." And Fine Ass Frank was just like, "I have." I said, "Of course you have." He's always in some damn dark corner finding out who these people are. So next thing we see, a phone call come through for Analise while she fussing at Emmitt. You know, she, "Hello!" Shit. And they were like, "We got the footage, and that is not Emmitt, your boss, in the video." She was like, "Well, who is it?" And of course, Emmitt is sitting there looking at her like, "You done broke my heart in 100 pieces. I done sat here and been vulnerable and told you how I felt about you. You just done blamed me and said that I tried to kill your man's father." Okay, so, you know, Emmitt is looking at her, and they say it is Avery Castillo, Laurel's brother. And then that's how it ends. I was like, okay, now I'm really enjoying this shit here. Now at least you done fucked up your little thing with Emmitt. This might be the only man that really, really cares about you like this. Where you ain't got no baggage with him and it might have been something and you just done fucked that up, you know. I said, "Po Emmitt." Him and his women just can't get right now, can they? Okay, po thing, he just want love, and look at how these women treat him. You gonna find you somebody else, baby. But yeah, next week it's all supposed to come together for us, and it's a whole lot that needs to come together. So I mean, I guess we'll see. But yeah, that was it for this week. All right, rock stars, let me get off of here. Make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'm itsrox. The channel is for itsrox, and everything else I do will be in the bottom bar. All right. So I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I plan on doing the same. Till next time, rock stars. Bye.